What's up, you guys? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you see this video. It is morning for me right now. I am so excited to be on here with you guys. Welcome to my channel. I am Shelly, the Forex Trade Her, heavy on the her in the male dominant industry. If you by any chance hear any dogs in the background, y'all, I have two dogs and they're both outside right now. And they bark at squirrels, they bark at neighbors, they bark at whatever they see. And we are surrounded by a bunch of neighbors with dogs. So they could be just barking at the other dog on the other side of the fence. Who knows? But it's okay. We're going to get through this video. And like I said, I'm super excited to be on here with you guys this morning. I was asked to go over the two indicators that I use daily to not to find my setups, but I use them as an additional confirmation to what I see. So off the bat, I will let you guys know that you do not want to use these indicators as just your only thing as to why you're taking a trade. You want to combine them with whatever strategy you have already been using. I personally combine them with my supply and demand zone to zone strategy. I do not use them for just, to find my signals. I normally go in, find my zones, and then once I see a potential setup, I then use my indicators as another reason as to why I'm taking that setup or why I'm looking to take that setup. So, of course, as you guys know, this is not financial advice. This is literally just educational purposes only. Do not risk more than you can afford to lose because, yes, you can make a lot of money in the market, but you can also lose money just as quick as you made it, or you might not have made any at all and you're just blowing your money. So I highly suggest you use a demo account while learning these indicators. Once you get a good feel of them and you see results consistently and you understand how they work, then go ahead and apply it to your live account. But do not jump right into a live account with these indicators if you do not fully understand them. And once this video is concluded, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. So let's go ahead and dive in. I don't want to talk you guys to death. I want to, make this a short video so that you can learn it and go about your day. So yeah. We are on NZD/USD, you guys. This is a pair that I trade heavily. I've been trading this pair for the last 3 years, and it's a super easy pair. Yeah, the market is obviously closed to you guys. It is Saturday, so this is probably like the perfect time to do anything learning-wise because you're not worried about, catching those trades right now because you can't catch nothing. So first things first, before I touch on my indicators, this is a clean chart. I'm gonna just go in and put in some quick zones that are, relevant to the setups I would have took or I might have already caught this week. Because I did just clear this chart out. First things first, I'm gonna put a supply zone up here. And then I am going to put a demand zone down at where price is currently at, just below that point. I did make a video covering supply and demand zones. I probably will make another one that's a little more in depth because the video I made was really just showing you how to read the market and, stuff like that. If you want an actual video going super deep into zone to zone strategies, just let me know in the comments and I will add it to my list of videos that I'm going to be creating for the rest of the month and, throughout the year. So anywho, I just threw in some simple zones, supply and demand zones. And ideally I put the zones where I see those sales took place. I put a demand zone here because the market closed in a somewhat bullish momentum, not a strong bullish momentum, but I'm going to show you exactly why I believe this thing could possibly reverse from the level that it's at right now. So first things first, you guys, we're going to go over stochastic and then I'm going to go over MACD. Here are the settings for stochastic. You just can take these and enter them into your computer. If you don't know how to get to indicators, you guys, first things first, make sure you get this I don't believe I changed anything on this. Honestly, I believe these might be close to the default settings. I think I might have changed this number just by a couple, but 1355 indicator time frame chart. You can change this to whatever chart you are actually on. I usually just leave it set for chart so that whenever I'm switching through, it adjusts accordingly. Style, like I said, I didn't change anything on here, so this should all be the same, but if not, there it is for you. And visibility, I definitely did not touch anything on this. So you'll be able to pause this and screenshot and take, those pictures you need to take. As far as adding them to your chart, you just go to this button right here where it says indicator, click it, and then you'll be able to search stochastic. Boom, it'll pop up. You can favorite it, so it'll be in your favorite section. And then for MACD, you just type MACD. And then it'll be this first one, moving average convergence divergence. That is what MACD stands for. And like I said, you can star that as well and favorite it. So I will give you the settings for MACD once we go over that one. But for now, we're going to go over stochastic. Stochastic is an indicator that lets you know when the market is oversold or overbought. What that means is it lets you know when the market is going to be selling and when it is officially oversold and looking to buy. And then it also lets you know when the market is overbought, meaning it's buying and it's going to be looking to sell soon. Now, how you actually incorporate that with stochastic is if you look over to your right, you will see the numbers 0, 50, and 100. These numbers are reading these signals lines. So whenever these signals lines are moving, depending on where the line is in the market, so like right now, the signals line is below or sitting at the 0 point. There's usually a 20 in there. I don't know why it's not in there. I might have changed it, or it could be, yeah, it's because it's not zoomed enough. So the more you adjust this, you'll be able to see 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. What these numbers are telling you is when these signals lines are between 0 and 25, that's letting you know that the market is oversold and it will be looking to reverse soon. When the signal line is above here, so like at this point, before the drop took place, the signals line was up here and it was between 75 and 100. And if you put your actual cursor here and you set it where those signals lines are, you will see the numbers on the side and it will tell you where exactly that number is. So like right here at this point, you'll see the 90.98 over to the right. Anytime the signals line is between 75 and 100, that's letting you know that the market is overbought and it's going to be looking to sell soon. And let me write that down for you just so you'll have it, because I know you might not remember it. So stochastic, and this is for my note takers. Y'all, note takers are money makers. So stochastic, so oversold at, and let me make sure I'm doing this right here. So oversold at 0.00 to 25 level. Overbought at 75.00 to 100.00 level. And again, those are the numbers that are going to be to the right. So let me hit OK on that. And I will leave that there for you. And just to even sum this up, you guys, the best way to use stochastic, and this is how I use it, this is how I've been using it, this is how I recommend you use it. The best way to go about using stochastic is to only read stochastic when you are taking your setups, and preferably you should only be taking your, and this is just my strategy, y'all, and this is the best way that I do it, but I only use my stochastic indicator when price is at or near my zones. So what that means is I'm only reading this and going off of this when I'm looking to actually take my entry. And the way I trade is I normally only enter my trades at my zones because I trade zone to zone. So if I were to get in for this buy, there's three things that I would be looking for. One, price will have to be at my zone, which it is at my zone right now. It's a little bit above it, but it's still near it. So that would be the first thing I'm looking for. Second thing I'm looking for is a bullish engulfing, maybe even a morning star. Heck, it could be a double bottom formed here. I need to see some type of market pattern, candlestick pattern, or anything of that nature for me to even think like, hey, this thing might really buy. The third confirmation, once I get those first two, will then be stochastic, which right now stochastic is where I would need it to be in order for me to believe that this thing could potentially buy. If that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, leave your questions in the comments, but that should make sense. And I will repeat it one more time. I only use stochastic when price is at or near my zones. You always want to have three reasons why you're taking the trade, y'all. Stochastic is the third reason. Even MACD, even if we're using MACD or if we're using both, those are going to be my final and last confirmations. I have to stress that because I don't want y'all using this indicator just to find y'all signals without incorporating price action in its entirety. So that is how I use stochastic, you guys. And if we were to go back and look like somewhere at this point where this sale took place, let me bring this back to about here. I don't think I clicked it right. Okay, so like right here. All right, so just to give you an example. So right here at this point where price tested this level and it closed out as an evening star. So my first confirmation would be, I'm going to put this right here. 3 confluences, confirmations. So first one would be price near zone, near or at zone. Second one would be trigger candle. So whatever candle you look for to take your trade, an evening star, morning star, shooting star, hammer, blah, blah, blah. Third confirmation, Stoke or MACD. And I'm gonna put that right there. So in this situation, price is at my zone, near my zone. That would be the first confirmation. Second confirmation in this example would be an evening star, which is 3 candles that let you know the market is going to sell. Third confirmation is stochastic. Stochastic is between 80 and 100, which is letting me know that the market is oversold, overbought, and it's going to be looking to sell. So what I would have done in this situation is I would have grabbed my positioning tool. I would have put it right here at this evening star candle. I would have set my stop loss according to that candle right there. And I would have set my target price for my next level where I know that price is going to sell to. Woo, 900 pips. Woo, show me the money what. Okay, show me the money what. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay this out for y'all, and y'all are going to see how this trade would have worked out and, you know, how you would have been able to execute on it. And it does look like this stop loss, it was a little bit too tight, so I probably would have lifted it up just a little more. But for this example, y'all get the vibes. You just want to make sure you set your stop loss accordingly. And I literally just threw that on there. And to be quite honest, I probably would have got my, let me see. I probably would have got my entry. Hold on one second. Yes, exit that. So I probably would have got my entry at my zone because I personally I don't really get entries at that low point. So I probably would have got my entry up here. So my stop loss would not have got hit, and I probably would have caught more pips because I trade literally zone to zone. And just combining that with stochastic, my entry would have been okay, going off of my 3 confluences. So this trade would have worked out. And as you can see, where the market closed out, it would have hit the take profit. So that is how I use stochastic. Let's move on to MACD. So I am going to move this over here, y'all. And I'm going to move it like that just in case y'all need to take a screenshot or anything if you haven't already. And now we're going to move on to MACD, and I'm going to stretch this just so we can see it, and I'll be able to explain a couple things. So MACD is basically an indicator that pretty much tells you when the market is oversold and overbought, but in actuality, it really is for momentum. So it really tells you when the momentum is weak or strong for a bullish or bearish market. Now, what you see is these green little boxes, the red boxes as well. These are called histograms, and they pretty much are short or tall or dark or light according to the strength and momentum of the market. So if the market is consolidating, or if it's a really extensive sale going, you will see these either being short or dark. The darker they are, the stronger the momentum is. The lighter they are, the weaker the momentum is. The shorter they are, the weaker the momentum is as well. And it's almost similar to candlesticks in general. If you have a long body candle, you have a stronger momentum. If you have a shorter body candle, you have a weaker momentum. The only difference with these is they're not candlesticks, they're called histograms. But for somewhat, if I said that right, they go together hand in hand as far as the gist of things. So as far as these settings, let's go to input first. So here are the input settings, you guys. And these are somewhat, should be close to the default. Sometimes it'll say default, but it won't be fully the default settings. So just make sure everything matches according to this, just in case. And of course, the same thing applies here. I leave this set on chart and everything is set, you know, how it should be set. And then for style, I did not change anything on here whatsoever. I usually don't touch the style stuff for the most part. So just make sure your stuff is matching that. And then the visibility, I definitely did not touch anything on there as well. So these are your settings. And basically, the same way I use stochastic is the exact same way I use MACD, you guys. I only read MACD according to when price is at or near my zones, because at that point I'm looking to enter the market and I want to make sure that, you know, what I see is what I see. So MACD is really just a way for you to confirm the momentum of the market, and it somewhat moves just like how stochastic moves. So like in this situation, how I would have got in for this sale based on 1, price being at or near my zone. 2, I would have found a trigger candle. And the third confirmation for MACD would have been the fact that these are starting to fade out. Excuse me. These are starting to fade out and they're getting really, really, really shorter. And if you notice these signals lines, which is the exact same as this thing up here, except it's going with the histograms, these signals lines are starting to cross and they're starting to go downwards. So that lets me know that the buyers are losing their momentum. The sellers tried to slip in right here a little bit, but as you can see, this thing is going with the fact that the market is consolidating. And then at this point is when the market started to sell off and the momentum got strong. So I would have combined all of that with the fact that price is at my zone. I would have had my trigger candles. And then, you know, I would have got in based on the fact that stochastic is letting me know that the market is overbought and looking to sell. And MACD is also letting me know that the momentum of the bullish market is not strong anymore. So Super simple indicators, you guys. The best way to actually really learn them and really understand them is to go back to whatever pair you trade regularly and make sure you're marking your zones and, you know, combining it with whatever strategy you already use. Just like how you back test the market and, you know, you look for certain specific things, you can also back test with these indicators and really just watch and see how they move with the pair that you trade and, you know, combine it with supply and demand. That concludes this video, you guys. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If I touched on something that you would like me to go a little bit deeper on, let me know in the comments and I will be more than happy to make a video for you. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have an amazing weekend and join me on Monday on my Instagram so we can go over the market on what I call Money Making Mondays, which of course I will post that video to my YouTube as well. So I will see you guys next week and I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.